All right, guys, the Copa America draw for 2024 is complete, ladies and gentlemen. It is complete. We are going to talk about the different groups. I have them here on Twitter. We have the US got a easy enough group, but definitely easy enough to get out of. There should be no question marks that we get out of this group. Okay. I'm going to pull them up right here. But we have Uruguay, we have Panama. Let me just expand this here because it's a little small. All right, this is all I could find for now until we get like a proper graphic up, and then Tac will join us here. All right, so I was just saying, Tac, this is an easy group to get out of because we are at home against Panama. We should absolutely beat them. Against Bolivia, we should absolutely beat them at home. The only question mark in this group is, do we finish first or second? That is the question.
Just finishing setting up here. 1 sec. I'm trying to pull the. Oh, you have the groups on screen. Okay, say
Yeah.
it again.
The only question mark about our group should be, do we finish first or second? That should be the only question mark.
I'm going to repeat what I said on the other stream. Obligation going through the group. Now, finishing on top, finishing ahead of Uruguay, I wouldn't put it as an obligation. It really depends on how the game goes. Because when you're facing Uruguay, you can still play well and lose. You can play well and tie and maybe not finish first because of goal differential, and you can't really blame the players or the coach because of that. But it's more or less like this. It's okay to finish second depending on how it happens. If it happens with us playing tough with Uruguay, just got unlucky, or Uruguay just had a great game, that's okay. Now, if we finish second because Uruguay trashed us 3-0 at home, that's not acceptable. So to my point, top two, obligation first. Again, like could you blame us if we lose to Brazil in the knockout rounds? No, but it depends on how it goes too. You don't want to get trashed by Brazil at home.
Yeah. So these are the groups, guys. By far, the easiest group, with no question, is Group A. Argentina, Peru, Chile, and either Canada or Trinidad and Tobago. That is, I mean, honestly, any of those three could probably make it out of this group with Argentina. So Argentina got a very easy group. That's the easiest group. Mexico also got a relatively easy group. Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, and then either Costa Rica or Honduras. Obviously, Ecuador, for me, is the favorite in this group, even though they weren't pot one. They're the one I most expect to finish first. Mexico is there with Venezuela, Costa Rica, and Honduras. And honestly, with Mexico's form recently, it's impossible to say. Will Mexico get out of this group? Do you think so?
I think they should.
They should,
To be
I'd
honest.
say, because the U.S. is kind of a home venue for them as well, almost more than it is for us, right?
They'll be playing home. That's for sure. They're going to be playing home. They're going to pack the stadiums. The only team I think is truly better than them in this group is Ecuador. Ecuador is better than Mexico.
They
I
are better than
expect
Mexico,
Ecuador to beat Mexico. I think Venezuela, with their current form and Mexico's form, they could beat Mexico, but they're not better than Mexico. The question is, this Copa America is 6 months from now. Will Venezuela be in the same form, and will Mexico continue? Well, Mexico probably will continue to be as bad as they are. They've been like this for like 3-4 years. And then you have Honduras and Costa Rica. We saw Honduras give one heck of a hard time to Mexico. So if Honduras makes it, they're going to make it tough for Mexico. I'll say one thing. I think.
Hang on. They're saying here they switched Jamaica to Mexico's group?
Wait, what?
That's what they're saying in the chat. When did they switch it? Wait a minute. What?
Are they sure about that? Why
Why
keep
would they switch it? Because it's 2-2. What are you guys saying? They made a mistake. According to Roberto Hernandez, they made a mistake. Jamaica was moved with Mexico, a clown show. What? How can they move it later?
Okay, that makes Mexico's group tougher.
Yeah, that does make it tougher. They did it on the broadcast at the very end?
They kind of just helped the U.S. because we had Jamaica in ours.
Okay, I need to figure this out. Rounding out the group. Okay.
So we can just go based on what the chat said. We can just go based off that if they
So
keep
then
changing.
Jamaica's now in their group. All right, let me pull this down. I need some more on this. Copa America.
Yeah, bear with us, guys, because apparently they.
Sorry, it's a little bit confusing, guys. We'll find the official news. So they switched here. Look, they're saying they switched Jamaica to that group. I'm not sure which one has the latest updated. This one doesn't have the updated one. See, some of them have not been updated now. And like the official Copa America account doesn't make any sense. Tac, if you find something, let me know.
Yeah, continue.
Okay, I've got it here now.
Okay.
This is the official one that got switched. All right. Here we go. I don't know why they switched that. Why would they switch that? So here you have Argentina, Peru, Chile, and Canada, Trinidad, Tobago. And then they have Grupo B here, Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Jamaica. Now that's a really tough group. That's a tough group for Mexico because you have Jamaica and Ecuador. Group C is still the same for us, Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia. And then Group D is now actually quite easy for Brazil. Paraguay, Colombia, and then either Honduras or Costa Rica. So I would say actually the two CONCACAF teams in pot 1 got the toughest draws right now. Belgium HR says they explained it in the 45-minute foreplay part.
Oh, okay. We didn't pay attention. So wait, our group is then Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia.
Yes, ours is the same. No?
Yeah, ours is the same.
Ours doesn't change. Ours is still the same. It's Mexico's got switched with Group D. It was Group B got switched with Group D. That's why.
Honestly, looking at this, we can top this group because Panama and Bolivia are a must-win. So it comes down to the Uruguay game. And it can go down. It could be down to goal differential. We could draw Uruguay. It could be a tie, and then just comes down to goal differential.
Apparently, the reason Spicy Jeff wasn't there, Tac, is he's being blocked from super chats on your channel.
He's not blocked.
That's what
he
he's
fell
claiming.
asleep.
Tiago says, my yellow uniforms are in Group B. Tac is canceling me. I'm sure it's just a mistake, Jeff. It's probably just a mistake. I've never known Tac to say no to a super chat.
No matter how freaky they are.
USA versus Uruguay in Kansas City again. Kansas. All right, Kansas, you better show up for that game. We're going to need all the home support we can get. Thank you for the clarification, Roberto. Wilmer Sanchez. Remember when Venezuela was ranked at the bottom of CONMEBOL and they beat USA 3-0? That must have been a while ago. When was this?
Remember, it was ranked bottom of CONMEBOL. They beat the United States. That was a friendly.
Which friendly?
Wasn't that in 2019?
Oh, yeah, right before the Gold Cup. You know who was starting? Aaron fucking Long was starting.
That was 2019, right?
Yeah, that was a 2019, right before the Gold Cup. I remember.
Yeah, that was a friendly.
Yeah, that was a friendly. Pete, I sent one to Tac, but I want to send you a gift as well. Hope you have a good holiday season. Thank you, Albert. Very much appreciated. They were drawn first and put in Group D by mistake. Should have been in B. You mean Mexico? Not sure who you're talking about there. Also, Tac, sorry for the Discord reminders. LOL. The Discord members are spamming me to invite you in. They want to talk to you.
Yeah, Pete, can you send me? The thing is, I don't use Discord at all, but I'll.
Neither do I. I only use it for the call-in show. I'm never in the chat. And honestly, based on what I've seen from the chat, it's a lot of like trolling from edgelords mostly. Did they really use Copa Oro as a reference to put Mexico on second top of the group?
Oh, it's FIFA rankings, right?
It's FIFA rankings is what they use. Tac, where do we play Bolivia? KC, Missouri is 1,000 feet above sea level.
We play Bolivia in the first game. The first game is crap. Hold on, I'll get you that information in a second.
You get that information up.
Yeah.
Tiago says, are you guys going to watch any U.S. match in person? I can't speak for Tac, but I'm not. I'm going to do the U.S. matches here. We're going to cover the Copa America probably the same way we covered the World Cup. So obviously we're not just going to cover the U.S. Tac's going to cover Brazil. I'll probably cover Argentina. I'm sure we'll cover Mexico. Some other teams as well.
I'm gonna go to games nearby though. Orlando and Miami, I'll go to games. But no, the United States, the plan is to cover at the channel. For us, it kind of sucks because going to games is fun, like we did in Austin. But at
Yeah,
the end of the day, what really drives our channel, and again, in terms of growth, keeping our audience entertained and informed, monetization, everything, it's the coverage of the game. So sure, we can have fun, but we have other responsibilities. We have something really good going on here for both of
yeah,
us in terms of like growth up to 2026. So the United States, unfortunately, we won't go to the games. We'll be covering it here on YouTube. Not
yeah.
unfortunately, fortunately. I would say fortunately, thanks to you guys. Fortunately.
So the presidentship says he sent you the link on Instagram. There you go, Tac. You can figure
Okay.
that one out with him. So yeah, here let's do this. Let's go through each of the groups and let's give our prediction of who makes it out. Like what order? Like 1, 2, 3, 4 in each group. Does that sound amenable to you, Tac?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's start off with Group A. Obviously, we're going to both say Argentina finishes first, right?
They should. That's a very easy group, by the way.
Yeah. Now the question becomes who finishes second?
Peru.
Yeah, I was going to say Peru. Like maybe Canada, but Canada hasn't been looking good lately.
Peru
So it's
has also
hard to
been doing well in Copa Americas. They'll figure out their coaching situation if it's not already figured out by then. And I would probably say Peru would be second, and then third place, assuming Canada qualifies.
I will
I
say
would say
Canada.
they should finish ahead of Chile, if I'm being
Yeah.
completely honest.
Chile is down very bad these days. Very bad.
Oh my God, Stu Holden just put his ideal USMNT starting 11. He put Gio Reyna on the wing and MMA midfield. My goodness,
Of course he did. Because he's
soccer
a cuck.
terrorist.
Of course he did. He's a cuck for the Federation. Of course.
Freaking
He
soccer
put Tim
terrorist.
Weah at right back. Stop, Stu.
Yeah, I'm done. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a good point by Pedro, which we should talk about. This is the opportunity for Berhalter to get his signature win, but I feel like it's going to be like the England game. Here's my question. Is beating Uruguay a signature win?
No,
I'm going
at
to
home, no.
argue no. A signature win for me is beating a team that is a World Cup contender. So a Brazil or an Argentina would be the only two signature wins. Would it be good to beat Uruguay? Yes. I wouldn't call it a signature win.
I would say borderline also World Cup contender would count. Uruguay's not a borderline World Cup contender. I would say something like beating a Spain in the World Cup, Portugal,
Or
Germany in
England.
the knockout rounds. Those are not the top contenders by any means, but beating those would be. I would say beating Uruguay, though, in the Copa America would be Greg Berhalter's biggest win, though.
Yeah.
That would be.
It's still not a signature win, but it's a good win for sure.
Yeah.
You are at home too. Remember, you know what I mean? This is not like we're playing Uruguay away or in a neutral venue. It would be great to beat them. It's not going to be, I wouldn't call it a signature win. I was talking to Tab Ramos today, and Tab Ramos said to me, Pete, any 5-year period that you pick between, since I started playing in the late 1980s, I can give you at least one or two big results that we got against a big team. Like, in I think it was 86 or was it 90? We beat, Argentina 3-0 in the Copa America, for example.
Well, you go to 1994, we beat Colombia, which at the time, I know people are going to say, oh, it's Colombia. That's not a sig. Well, Colombia were the top team in CONMEBOL before that World Cup started. They were the favorites to win it. Pele had them ahead of Brazil. They had beat Argentina in World Cup qualifying very easily with Diego Maradona, I believe, playing during World Cup qualifying, or he was already caught with the whole Coke thing. But anyhow, that was a signature win. 2009, defeating Spain in the Confederations Cup semifinals, that's a signature win.
Yeah. Also, we beat Italy in the World Cup in 1990. Remember Paul Caligiuri with the solo goal. In 2002, we beat Portugal. Portugal with Luis Figo, right? In 2002 World Cup, we beat Portugal 3-2.
Oh, we tied Cristiano Ronaldo in 2014.
Yeah, well, then we drew with Portugal, so it's not a win,
yeah,
right? But then you've got, obviously, 2009 beating Spain, right? In 2014, I would say we didn't really beat anybody, but we still got out of the group of death, which is a signature move in itself. To get out of a group, we beat Ghana, okay? And we got a draw with Portugal, and then we lost 1-0 to Germany. that for me was a equivalent of a signature win. Getting out of that group, nobody thought we would get out of that group. And then what was the other one? In 2006, we didn't do anything. That was a terrible year. 9, we did.
Didn't we tie Italy in that World Cup though?
In 2006, we got a draw with Italy. Yes.
Yeah, and they won the World Cup. And they won the World Cup.
They won.
Yes, we tied them. We didn't get out of our group, but they won the World Cup.
Right. It would have been like if England won this last World Cup and we managed to get a draw with them. Right. So David's saying I was looking for tickets $350 to $550. Ugh. Yeah, it's going to be expensive, and it's only going to go up from here. So if you want to get
tickets, really? They're for sale? Where do you buy tickets for this?
Yeah, David, maybe tell us where you're looking already. The only way we can win against Uruguay is by low block and counterattacking. I don't know if it's the only way, but it would be the recommended way for sure. Because if we try to go toe-to-toe with Uruguay, which I know Greg is going to do because he's Greg, he only has one way, Bielsa might pull a Louis van Gaal and just be like, okay, that's fine. Let them have it. Then we press them and go.
Which group are we now? We finished Group A. We're going Group B?
Yeah, Group B. Let's do Group B, and then I'll read the rest of these super chats. Group B is Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Jamaica. Prediction time. You go first. Who tops this group?
Ecuador.
Same. Ecuador tops this group for me. Now, the question is second. For me, it's going to be either Jamaica or Mexico. Now, I'm going to give Mexico just the edge because they are kind of playing at home.
It's a tough one, man. This is a tough one. I think
Mexico's unpredictable, but so is Jamaica.
This is the most balanced group. Yes. B's the most balanced group.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Ecuador first. Yeah, I think I'm going to put Mexico in second also, Venezuela third, and I have Jamaica in last place. I think Jamaica will be a disappointment in the Copa America.
You think so, huh?
Mm-hmm. They don't fail to disappoint me. So I'm going to go Ecuador, Mexico, Venezuela, and Jamaica. And Mexico and Venezuela are going to battle it out. It's going to be tough for Mexico, man. But Mexico will be playing at home.
So, yeah, I still have Venezuela to go last. No, not Venezuela. I'm sorry, Jamaica.
Okay.
Jamaica last. Knowing Jamaica, they could implode at any time, so I can't rely on them. I go Ecuador first, Mexico second. I also think Mexico's going to get some help, if you know what I mean. I think if Santi gets hit by a ray of sunlight in the box, I have a feeling Mexico will get a penalty.
Yes, absolutely. Argentina and Mexico will get a few penalties. But Group C.
Group C. Based on everything we know, and as patriotic as I am, I still have Uruguay topping this group.
We're
at home.
So here's the thing. We start off by playing Bolivia, then we play Panama, then we play Uruguay. So that'll be the decisive game.
Yeah, that'll be everything finish first or second.
So here's my question to you. We're probably gonna arrive that game one team ahead of the other based on goal differentials. I'm assuming we will beat Bolivia and Panama. We should beat them at home, please.
If we don't, just fire Greg before the Uruguay.
Yes.
Just let BJ take charge.
I think it really depends on how we face Uruguay. If we go and we can qualify in first with a draw, I like our odds at home.
Yeah.
It depends on how we arrive in that last game. We
score a lot of goals under Greg. This is the problem.
Yeah, but I think here's the thing. People are talking about Uruguay. They go and look at the scores. They're not really watching Uruguay. They're not really aware of what's going on in CONMEBOL. Uruguay is a fantastic team. But y'all, or a lot of people, are overhyping this team quite a bit. This is not a team better than Argentina and Brazil. I know you're going to say, but they just beat Argentina. Yeah, that can happen. And it happened many times throughout history. This is not a team better than Brazil and Argentina. Are they better than the United States? Yeah, they're better than us. They have some world-class players that we don't have. We don't have a player at the same level as Valverde. We don't have a center forward at the level of Darwin Núñez, even though Darwin Núñez himself is a hit or miss. This guy can look like complete crap out of nowhere and look like a world-class forward too. He's like 800, nothing
Let
in between.
let me say this. We know how Bielsa plays, right?
Mhm.
Bielsa is going to do what? He's going to come out and he's going to press us. Now, try to imagine
Man
Matt
marking
Turner.
press. That's all he does.
It's
Man
going to be
marking
a
press.
man for man press when we try to build out of the back. If we're smart, do we try to play around that press? For me, no.
Go long.
Go long. Go over the
Route
top.
one football.
Plus, then you have Fuller and Balogun in behind, Pulisic in behind, Gio, Weah, all of these guys. Great running in behind. If we try to play out of the back against Bielsa's Uruguay, I think we will lose that game. It comes down to what Greg does. If he grows a brain in that bald muppet of a head he owns, and he realizes that you can't build out of the back under a Bielsa press, then I'm a little more confident. But everything we know about Greg says he's stubborn and he's going to try to do it his way to prove a point. Therefore, I have Uruguay finishing first.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we know exactly how Bielsa is going to set up. It's a man marking press. That's all he's going to do. If you go route one football, maybe try to soak up some pressure, go long in transition with Balogun, Pulisic, Weah out wide, should be able to, man. But of course, when you look at it on paper, yes, Uruguay does have better players than the United States. It's just about how we face them. And again,
this is where Berhalter needs to make his $1.6 million a year salary. Like, you're getting paid that reason to do something, not just to meet the bare minimum. And even Matt Crocker said it, right? They hired Greg to beat the big teams in major competitions. This is his first. Uruguay is not even a big team, but it's his first chance to do something, to beat them.
It's a high quality team with some world class players and a good coach. There's a good point there in the chat too. If Uruguay comes to our game needing a win to finish first, they'll freaking go for the win to avoid Brazil. They're going to do it.
Yes. Yeah. They
They
don't want to face Brazil.
They want. Well, they know they're going to have to face Brazil eventually, but they rather do it later rather than sooner.
Yeah.
You increase your odds. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna say United States first, Uruguay second, Panama third, Bolivia will be last. Without the altitude, Bolivia ain't getting anything done. By the way, we play Bolivia in Dallas. There's no altitude in Dallas, so we're fine. So I'm going to put it this way. Now, I'm not downplaying Uruguay. This is a fantastic team, able to pull out upsets with a lot of grit. They're tough to play. I just think a lot of people are overhyping Uruguay a little
Here's
bit
the
too
thing,
much.
dude. Bielsa in his first year gets teams. Every team he's taken, Chile, Leeds, what was it? Atletico. It wasn't Atletico Madrid. It was the other one in La Liga.
I don't remember.
Anyways, usually in the first year, Bielsa has his teams, and that's what he's got right now. Where Bielsa fails is by year 3. The players are exhausted. The players, everything breaks down. Usually, he's like the Jose Mourinho of international coaches. Usually by year 3, it starts to fall apart. They're still being like at the beginning of year 2 with Bielsa, and that's what worries me. It was Bilbao. Thank you, Athletic Bilbao.
We'll see. We'll see. There's also what I just said, that if we have a better goal differential than Uruguay and we're going to play Bolivia and Panama, I mean, we beat Panama 5-0 at home before. This same Panama right here, we beat them 5-0. If you can get a lot of goals at home against these teams and you go against Uruguay needing a draw to finish first, it's totally possible. But no, yes, I'm not putting Uruguay. Not always the best team finishes first. That's my whole point.
Right.
Uruguay's the best team in the group.
You know, it would be ironic if we finished first and Brazil starts slow and ends up getting second in their group and then beats us in the second round. In that case, you can't really blame us. It's like, well, we did our job of finishing first. It's not our fault Brazil didn't do theirs.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, too. Colombia is not an easy opponent. Colombia is better than us, too, right now.
Oh, straight red card says, yo, we live despite tactical manager and 11 Yanks stomping on our time. Guys, if you do that right after Copa America, it's going to be tough. We can't not cover it. So sorry, straight red card. We apologize, but we had to cover this. Yeah, so let's go into then Group D. Obviously, we both assume Brazil will finish first, right?
It's the assumption. Brazil has a lot of things to figure out by then. There's
Mhm.
issues also with Brazil in terms of the fullback position. That's the only issue, Brazil. I think center backs are fine, midfield's fine, forwards are fine. But Brazil right now doesn't have an actual coach. Fernando Diniz is a part-time coach, and people are talking about he's a terrible coach. It's like, guys, he was coaching Brazil while leading Fluminense to win the Copa Libertadores. How focused was he in the national team? He wasn't. So Brazil has to either figure it out with Ancelotti and have him take over for the Copa America.
But
Jose
isn't it kind of
Mourinho,
late for Ancelotti to take over?
no, he would take over like a month before. He knows the players. He's worked with many of them. He knows them. Probably will start doing some work beforehand. Ancelotti, don't forget that Ancelotti also is not really the biggest tactician in the world. He's a lot of like, you guys do you on the field. He's a
Yeah, he's
lot
more
of
of a
that.
man manager.
Yeah,
I still think
exactly.
it's risky though to have him take over right before Copa America without Neymar.
Yeah, but it's like either him or you just give you give what's his name? You give Fernando Diniz, you promote him to be the full-time coach, or there's a rumor in Brazil that Jose Mourinho offered himself to assume during the summer.
I don't think that's gonna work, dude. I don't think Jose Mourinho in Brazil is ever gonna work. They're opposites. You talk about destroying Jogo Bonito. You know who destroys Jogo Bonito more than anybody? Mourinho. All the flair players are going to be benched. All the young players are going to be benched. And he's going to have a bunch of grinders. He'll bring Fred back into midfield.
I don't know, man. He's gonna like Vinicius in transition.
In transition, but he's going to try to get Brazil to defend. And
I don't
to
know,
play
man.
cagey.
It can't be worse than most Brazilian coaches do. Brazilian coaches just like there's just no coaching. It's so bad. It's just really bad. So I'm gonna say what. Look, as long as Brazil figures it out, because also apparently the Brazil Federation president just got impeached today by like the sports Supreme Court. As long as Brazil figures that out and has a stable coaching situation, they should finish first in this group. Colombia defeated Brazil, and I watched that game. The match was played in Colombia, and it was two headers from Luis Diaz. They had some good moments. Brazil had some good moments, but again, it wasn't like Colombia dominated Brazil. Brazil should finish first. Colombia should finish second.
Right. And then it's Paraguay or Costa Rica. Probably Paraguay. Costa Rica's got real problems of their own. It might be Honduras for all we know. We don't even know if Costa Rica.
Paraguay's not bad. Paraguay's not bad.
No, Paraguay is not bad. It will probably be Paraguay third. Now, I'll read a couple more of these. So according to Kiboni Maker, the trolling situation was fixed. Jeff Carey says, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you too, Jeff. Can any team other than Argentina, Brazil, or Mexico fill the big stadiums? Who's playing in Dallas? Well, our first game is in Dallas, right?
Yes.
So we're playing in Dallas. Obviously, we can fill. Well, will we is the question. We're playing Panama as the first game, right?
We play Bolivia.
Oh, Bolivia. Yeah, I don't think we're going to fill that stadium because we're not playing at Toyota Stadium, right? We're playing at the
It's
Cowboys.
the AT&T. That's like 80 or 90,000 seats.
No,
We're
it's
not
more.
packing that stadium.
We're not packing it for sure. It's going to be like the lower bowl situation. The U.S. versus Bolivia. That's not a draw. I'm sorry. And then we have Uruguay is the last one. They're in Kansas. Where is Panama? Atlanta?
We play Atlanta, I think.
Atlanta, right?
Not packing.
Atlanta fans show up for Atlanta. I'll give them that.
But they're mostly L3 fans.
Are they?
I think so. Doesn't Mexico play there sometimes? And they pack this? Oh, they pack anywhere.
I mean, Mexico could play in the middle of the desert in Arizona and still pack it. Mexico could play in Hawaii probably. It's still Mexico could play in North Korea and Mexicans would still make the trip. I don't know
if they would get in North Korea, but sure. I don't know.
I'm sure they get a little money to Kim Jong-un. I got to give it to L3 fans. They show up for their team. At least the ones in the U.S. show up for their team. I got to give them that. No matter where they play, they show up, and they pay a lot of money for it. So, yeah, you have a good point, Jeff. How many other teams will fill their state? Colombia, maybe. Depends. Is Colombia playing in Miami?
I don't know. Argentina plays their last game in the group stage in Miami. I don't know where Colombia will play.
If Colombia plays in Miami, then I can see it. Miami or New York? Because a lot of Colombians in New York also. Anywhere else, I'm not sure. But I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah. Seth Floyd says, just finished my finals for college while dealing with bronchitis. Eesh. I like our chances. I see 2 wins and a toss-up versus Uruguay. Yeah, the truth is we should go into that Uruguay game with no pressure. Like we should go into that Uruguay game already qualified. This is interesting. S27 says Uruguay sat deep versus Argentina. Bielsa adapted. Did you watch that game?
What game? No,
Argentina
no. There
versus
was, I
Uruguay.
think, there was a U.S. game. I don't remember. But I didn't watch. I know Uruguay won. Just wanted to watch the highlights on it. I didn't watch that specific game.
Yeah, what we'll
Oh,
do, guys.
but again, but wait. Let me just correct one thing. Uruguay always sits deep against Brazil and Argentina. They soak up pressure and they play without the
doesn't
ball.
mean they're gonna do
Literally,
that against us.
yeah, like literally, they're not going to sit deep against the U.S. He will press the heck out of the United States, and he knows we can't play out of the back when you do so. The Uruguay historically, at least in the past 20 years that I've watched, they usually played that way against Brazil and Argentina. They soak up pressure, they let Brazil and Argentina have the ball and try to hit them in transition. So
Yeah,
that's not real. I think that's just Bielsa understanding he's facing a team that's better than his.
yeah.
Which we're not. We are not. So just to make that
Brett
clear.
Oppenheim, what group does our first knockout round opponent come from?
D.
Please be B. Sadly not, Brett. It's D. So we are in Brazil's path, which is why when we get to that Uruguay game, we also have to see where Brazil is at. Oh my God. Are Alexi and Stu wearing ugly Christmas sweater? Oh my God. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, but Pete, even though I'm saying I think we can top the group over Uruguay, I'm thinking more of a draw and goal differential. I think we lose in the quarterfinals to Brazil or Colombia, to be honest.
Yeah, with the problem is in Greg we don't trust. Right? Like Greg has not shown us that he's capable of beating a good team. Greg can't even show us that he can win away from home in CONCACAF, right? So, yeah, Brett, sorry to disappoint you, man. We got Brazil's group. Jeff Carey, Pete's better than Tac because
I didn't block you, man. I didn't block you.
It's probably an accident. Maybe Dustin accidentally did it, or maybe he's just having a glitch. Maybe it's a glitch on your end.
It's a glitch. Jeff. I mean, I can check it here, but why would I block someone sending super chats? I'm not insane.
Mr. Zorm says, fuck CONMEBOL, fuck this chat and this channel. It's a lot of anger there, Mr. Zorm. Speak to your therapist about your anger.
What? What did he say?
All you people in this chat are a bunch of simps. CONMEBOL is the worst corrupt organization ever. Bro, the extra special hate for CONMEBOL, like all of football's governing bodies are corrupt. US soccer
I'd say FIFA
corrupt.
is number one, but CONMEBOL is definitely
but
top three.
So is African. So is AFCON. So is CONCACAF. It's all corrupt. Like pretending there's only one corrupt federation, they're all corrupt. Believe me, as somebody who's seen football around the world, they're corrupt everywhere. It's not just CONMEBOL.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say CONMEBOL's. Well, I mean, it's kind of like one of those where you're just kind of like arguing which shit smells less worse out of all of them. CONMEBOL is definitely up there, but I don't know who's like simping for CONMEBOL here in the chat in general.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like
just Mr. a very angry dude. You know what? You know what? If you're that angry, go relax. Go to the movie theater. Go have
devils with lettuce. It'll help you to relax, buddy.
Get some chamomile tea. Just relax. You're too angry on CONMEBOL. We know they're corrupt. You don't have to tell us. Everyone knows that. We literally were making jokes in the live watch along about how their president looks like a fucking corrupt piece of shit.
I know. I don't know who here is simping for them. Let's see what happens, guys. So obviously, Tac and I, we're going to do more previews. We're going to, especially Uruguay, that's a big one, how they play. Panama, we know quite well from facing them many times. Carrasquilla is an interesting player, but guys, there's no excuse for us not to beat Panama at home. As we continue to move towards Copa America with the dancing chicken, we will discuss, these matchups. But overall, this is a group that we should absolutely get out of. If Greg does not get out of this group, it should be an instant automatic trigger for his firing. I don't care what it is. It could be a free goal. The referee could have given a blind stonewall penalty to Bolivia that ousted. It doesn't matter. If he doesn't get out of this group, he should be sacked. It's sacked instantly and on the spot. So, yeah, I think we got to. I would rather have this group than Mexico's group. I'll say that. No? Wouldn't you rather have our group? Because Ecuador, Venezuela, and Jamaica would be tougher.
I'm just looking here. I'm just checking for Jeff for 1 second. But Mexico's group is. I think Mexico group is tougher than ours.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. By the way, someone did block Jeff on my my channel, and I unblocked it. Whoever did it, don't do it again.
Okay,
Someone-
you're unblocked. You're unblocked, Jeff. It might have been one of the mods or something. Because then you
Yeah, I
have
don't know
mods.
why. I
Maybe one
unblocked
of the
Jeff
mods.
right now. Jeff, I don't block anyone. Like, there's no way for me to control that while I'm in the live chat.
So you're unblocked, Jeff. Go have at it. Queen Nadra. Nunez is like Altidore. Whoa. Okay. Comparing Darwin Nunez to Josie Altidore might be one of the bigger travesties of justice. Josie Altidore couldn't score a goal for Sunderland. Okay, let's not compare Altidore and Nunez. But in Uruguay, he is good. Ugarte is rock in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you about Ugarte, but comparing Darwin Nunez and Josie Altidore is a stretch too far. All right. Kielmig Kiesling. Very German name, but he's actually Argentine, isn't he?
Who?
This guy, Kielmig Kiesling. He's always Uruguayan. He's always
No, that's Uruguay. That's
He's
Uruguay.
always promoting Uruguay. He has the most German sounding name I've ever heard for a Uruguayan. Kielmig Kiesling.
They have some Germans there.
I wonder how the Germans got there.
Yeah, they fled something. By the way, Jeff, you're free. You're free on the channel. But say Mexico had a very easy group. I don't think Mexico's group is well. Mexico's group would be easy for a team like Brazil and Argentina, but I think Mexico's group is the most balanced group of all of them.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather have our group than Mexico's because Jamaica can surprise. Obviously, Ecuador is a very good team as well. Venezuela is looking better. So I actually think it's the most unpredictable group.
Panama and Bolivia are worse than every single team in Group B.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the best way to put it.
Mexico's
And I think
going to have their work cut out for them. Jaime Lozano. If Mexico doesn't get out of their group, should Jaime Lozano get fired?
as a U.S. men's national team fan, no. They should keep him.
Well, we'll preview Mexico a little bit later. But, guys, we're going to end it here. This is just a preliminary sort of reaction. Obviously, we'll go more in depth into all of these groups. Thank you to everybody who sent super chats. Both of us have very interesting videos out. If you're looking for something to watch, I did an interview with Tab Ramos on the channel today. And Tac, is it part 1 or part 2 of your interview with
Part 2? It's actually a Copa America video, a little bit talking about CONCACAF with a professional coach, actual coach.
So go check that. Gerson Perez is Hugo Perez's son, and the assistant coach when he was at El Salvador. So check those out. Thanks for hanging, guys. Obviously, about 6 months before Copa America starts. So, because it starts in June, right? So 5 months next year.
We're roughly 6 months away. 6 months.
We're roughly 6 months away. It's going to be exciting. Camp Cupcake is up next in case you really needed to get the blood pumping. Seth Floyd said,
I unblocked him just now too.
Okay.
And again, that wasn't me. I don't know who's blocked or not, but I'm gonna probably have to talk to the mods, or I'm just gonna remove all the mods and only
maybe remove
Dustin.
some of the mods because
I doubt it was Dustin because he knows Jeff and he knows Seth, so I doubt it was him.
How many spicy Jeff super chats you missed out on.
No, it wasn't Dustin. But I'm gonna talk to the mods because they can't just go on blocking people. They can remove the comment. They can't just go blocking people.
Yeah. So, guys, we got 6 months to prepare for this. Have a great rest of your night. Check out some of our videos. Go subscribe to Tactical Manager TV, and we'll talk to you guys soon.